Blackpool Pleasure Beach have just released some significant brand new information regarding the reimagining of Valhalla, and in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know regarding that. This information is very exciting to say the least, so you want to make sure you watch this video to the very end so you don't miss any of it. Hello, I'm Ben and welcome back to ThrillNet, bringing you everything thrill related in the UK and beyond via the internet. Earlier this week, Blackpool Pleasure Beach put a post and video out on their social media confirming that they were going to reveal some more details surrounding the reimagining of Valhalla, set to reopen in 2022. And here was my initial reaction to that.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about, baby! Hey! We're going to find out all about Valhalla. Could there be a new soundtrack? What effects are we getting? I'm so excited!
The post essentially confirmed that the park had a big meeting planned with Adam, the creative lead behind the project, and that part of that would consist of a Q&A session with Jason, who works at the park. You know, the guy who works for PB Radio and plays 2002 by Anne-Marie every 5 minutes. I'm not complaining. Within the post, the park asked that we, the Pleasure Beach fans, send in our questions to be answered on TikTok during the Q&A session. And so the next day, Pleasure Beach posted a series of TikToks answering the questions that were sent in, revealing some significant details about what we can expect from the ride when it reopens during the process. So, if you couldn't guess already, in this video I'm going to go through some of the TikToks that were posted one by one and dissect the information that Jason and Adam give us in relation to what this could mean for Valhalla. Honestly, I'm so excited to go through these TikToks and find out what we could expect from the reimagining of this amazing water ride themed around Norse mythology, and I bet you are too. So without further ado, let's get into it. And I'll probably include some more Ben reaction cams as well, so I hope you like the one I shared with you before.
Hey guys, we're here with the Valhalla Q&A. We're with Adam Slevin. He is taking the creative lead on Valhalla with the Pleasure Beach team. So Adam, one of the first questions we got asked, a lot of people ask this about fire in Valhalla. Will it be there?
We have a large number of special effects in the ride and physical effects, including fire. So, yes.
Yes! I'm so happy the fire is returning. I can't believe it!
There we go, fire, boom, still going to be a part of the attraction when it reopens in 2022. For those who've been living under a rock for the past 20 odd years, since Valhalla opened in 2000, it features a variety of special and physical effects, including fire, water, snow, wind and lightning effects. Now obviously back in 2000 we didn't have the technology available to us that we have now, because technology's advanced a lot since then. And the fire effects in Valhalla were actually created with gas canisters, which is quite a basic way of creating those effects. And as well as that, it uses up a lot of gas and is therefore quite an expensive way to do it. And the fire effects in there were actually really unreliable, especially towards the end of the ride's lifespan. When these fire effects did work though, they were incredible, and they were a big reason of why people thought Valhalla was one of, if not the best dark rides in the world when it reopened, and up until when it closed in 2019. However, due to their unreliability and high cost, there was a lot of concern that they would be taken out as part of the reimagining, and therefore the ride would not be as good possibly as a result of that. However, Pleasure Beach have obviously confirmed in this TikTok that fire is still going to be a part of the attraction when it reopens. Therefore, I would assume that those old, expensive, unreliable fire effects have been replaced with newer fire effects that use modern technology, because that would just make sense at the end of the day. Leading up to when it was announced that Valhalla wouldn't be reopening for the 2020 season, Amanda Thompson did post some tweets on Twitter basically hinting towards the fact that the park were looking to make Valhalla more sustainable. Therefore that further sort of suggests to me that these old fire effects have definitely been replaced with newer effects. Honestly though, this news is great and somewhat surprising to me, because obviously with us having had the COVID-19 pandemic over the last year or so, Pleasure Beach have lost a lot of money, which made me think that they probably wouldn't be able to afford to run the old fire effects, and probably wouldn't be able to afford to install some new ones either. But clearly they're going for it, they're ripping out those old fire effects and installing some new ones.
Hi guys, question number 2. Will you get less wet? Adam, over to you.
The best way I can answer that is to quote, "You will get wet." you may still get soaked.
Getting wet in 2022. That's sure going to be exciting.
Now that is an interesting quote there, because a lot of Pleasure Beach fans have been suspecting that Valhalla's wetness will be toned down as part of the reimagining so that it's more rideable at different times of the year as opposed to just summer. And furthermore, Valhalla's previous tagline was, "You will get wet, you may get soaked." So that quote is the exact same with the added word "still" in there. Now on one hand, the phrase "may still" suggests that you may still get soaked, as in there's the same chance of you getting soaked on Valhalla as there was before its reimagining. But on the other hand, the phrase "still" could suggest that yes, you may still get soaked, but there's a lower chance of you getting soaked. So instead of "you may get soaked," you may still get soaked, but the chances of that are quite unlikely. The boats that we used on Valhalla before its reimagining had very bad drainage, meaning that when you stepped into the boat, your feet would usually be submerged underwater. This contributed to how wet you got on the ride, but it might not do once the ride reopens, as there is evidence to suggest that Valhalla may be getting some new boats, which could potentially have better drainage. The old boats featured shields on the side of them, and over the past year, Blackpool Pleasure Beach have been selling those shields on their website. Here's one I've got here. Clearly there's got to be some reason why Blackpool Pleasure Beach have been selling those shields, hasn't there? Furthermore, Valhalla boats that we used before the ride's reimagining have been spotted on the Pleasure Beach car park. While those could just be being stored there ready for maintenance, they could also be being stored there ready to be shipped away for when some new boats arrive. As I mentioned previously, in order to reduce running costs, I suspect that the old, expensive fire effects have been replaced by newer, cheaper ones. It wouldn't surprise me if something similar applies with the water effects. Some of these, such as the water vortex, may have been replaced with cheaper effects or removed completely, in which case this would reduce the wetness of the ride.
Question number 3, about the layout.
What about the layout, Jason?
Has it changed at all?
You may notice a difference.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, I bet Valhalla's getting a drop track as part of its reimagining. We're going to be dropping like... Oh! Ow! Why is it getting worse and not better?
As much as Adam said you may notice a difference rather than you will notice a difference in the layout, I think this pretty much confirms that there will be a track layout change to Valhalla. The only logical and possible difference I think that Pleasure Beach would make to the layout of Valhalla would be to remove the turntables and backward section on the ride. Despite almost being fully enclosed, Valhalla used to feature a mini outdoor section in which you'd be turned around by a turntable, proceed down a backwards drop, and then be turned around by another turntable to face forwards again. These turntables used to cause a lot of technical problems with the ride, so it would make sense to improve reliability if these were to be removed completely and therefore the backwards section scrapped. An example of what this section of Valhalla would look like if the turntables were to be removed is shown on screen now, in this Planet Coaster recreation by the roller coaster. The log flume in Planet Coaster does not feature turntable pieces, therefore the roller coaster could not properly recreate the backward section of the ride. Anyway, at the end of the day, who knows what Blackpool Pleasure Beach are doing to the layout of Valhalla? They may well surprise us.
Soundtrack, will it have a new one, Adam?
Well, as we are reimagining Valhalla, it will also carry with it a new audio experience, which is being put together as we speak by someone very notable, but equally a strange
To us all.
to us all. Yeah.
Who could it be?
Someone who's very notable but also a stranger. I have no idea who that could be. But if you want to be a notable subscriber, you know, for more things throw related in the UK and beyond, be sure to smash the subscribe button and bell icon to be notified every time I upload. I mean, why wouldn't you want to? I'm a UK theme and amusement park YouTuber who tells some bad jokes along the way and has a Who the hell put that in the script?
On a serious note, this basically confirms that Valhalla will be receiving a brand new soundtrack as part of its reimagining, and that it will be composed by the notable stranger. Honestly, this has not come as a surprise to me. I suspected this from the start. Glenn Robertson, also known as the Notable Stranger, has a very good relationship with Blackpool Pleasure Beach now. He's composed soundtracks for Icon, their brand new Mac multi-launch coaster for 2018. He composed a soundtrack for Big One for its 25th anniversary in 2019, and he's composed Hot Ice soundtracks. So why wouldn't he compose a new soundtrack for Valhalla? I do hope, and I'm sure that many Pleasure Beach fans will agree, that some form of Valhalla's old soundtrack known as Song of the Elders is either incorporated into the new soundtrack or is used either outside the ride or for part of the ride experience. As much as I have complete faith in the Notable Stranger to do an incredible job of this new soundtrack, Song of the Elders is so iconic, and if it was to be scrapped completely, myself and a lot of Pleasure Beach fans would be very disappointed. Pleasure Beach really do care about their fans, therefore it wouldn't surprise me if some form of Song of the Elders was to be kept going forward. Honestly though, like with everything in regards to this reimagining, who knows what tricks Blackpool Pleasure Beach have up their sleeve. Either way, I'm sure this new soundtrack is going to be great.
Hey guys, question 5. Will there be a twist in store? Adam.
Well,
Oh my word, I can't believe it, guys. The reimagined Valhalla's going to have a twist. We're going to be getting an RMC drop trap water coaster. I can't believe it.
Seriously though, there's two things, or twists, I would like Blackpool Pleasure Beach to add to Valhalla that I think are realistic. Those are a storyline and some updated effects. Previously, the rides didn't really have a storyline. You kind of just travelled between some Viking theme scenes that didn't really flow together very well. Don't get me wrong, individually, many of the scenes in the ride are breathtaking, but a storyline to help connect them together would make the ride feel like a more complete experience. As for updated effects, we've come a long way technology-wise since the year 2000, therefore it would be nice to see some modern effects in the ride that make use of modern technology such as projection mapping, for example. No, I'm not saying replace all the ride's physical set pieces with projection mapping, but it just needs something to spice it up to 2021 standards. Don't forget to click the icon at the bottom of your screen to subscribe for more things throw related if you haven't done so already, and be sure to comment down below what you think we'll see for Valhalla's reimagining. I've talked a lot in this video about what I think we can expect within the interior of Valhalla for its reimagining, but what about its exterior? Be sure to click the video on the right side of your screen to see the latest updates surrounding this. I'm Ben, thank you so much for watching ThrillNet, and I'll see you over there.
Oh!